Memphis residents there are complaining bitterly about Elon Musk and what is going on with his particular firm. We're gonna, in a moment, we're gonna be talking with Representative Justin Pearson about that. This whole AI, first of all, this was happening in Southwest Memphis. Okay, this black community, they're on the front lines of a growing environmental fight, and his AI company XAI. They are the ones who, of course, he built to take on OpenAI and ChatGPT. People in Memphis are seriously worried about air quality, asthma, and survival. And so we've seen these environmental issues all around. And what Elon Musk has been doing with Donald Trump's approval, what they've been doing is targeting their critics. You see how he's been going after every federal agency where there has been an investigation of him. So we're going to talk to Representative Pearson in just a second. But here's the thing that I'm laughing about, okay, about these fools. And I saw this tweet from country singer John Rich, and he's an absolute MAGA suck-up. I mean, an absolute MAGA suck-up. And he posted on his Twitter feed about paying taxes. And let me just show y'all what this fool had to say. He tweets, "It's always been stomach churning, but after learning all that Doge has found, paying my, give me 1 second. It's always been stomach churning, but after learning all that Doge has found, paying my taxes this year has brought on a whole new level of nausea." He's a moron. You know why? Because all Doge keeps doing is backtracking on what they claim they found. Now remember they said, we're going to find $2 trillion in savings. Then it's, we're going to find $1 trillion in savings. Then they said, we're going to find $500 billion in savings. Then they said, we found $150 billion in savings. Well, check this out. This is Doge went weeks without updating its webpage. Then, just after midnight on Tuesday, it removed nearly $1 billion worth of previously claimed savings. Right here, it says the website is filled with errors, include typos and references to multiple state mental health facilities as mental health retardation centers. They claim savings for hundreds of individual cuts also fluctuated from update to update. They lying. They lying. Political sense, they lying. I mean, the number just keep changing. They lying.
Where's the evidence at? Where's the damn evidence? The New York Times wrote a great piece about it, and I mean, to debunk everything. Where's the evidence? Like you said, every time they put something up, they got to take it down because they get called out on their lies. There's no proof. The only people that's getting rich out of this damn scheme is Elon Musk and Trump and his corporation buddies. Those are the only people who's making money. Everybody else, we're losing. The American people are losing. They're taking food away from poor people. We are losing. Social Security is damn near going to be gone. Who's winning? Not us. They're winning. And they have no damn evidence. So what the hell are they talking about? I mean, you know what? Here, look, I'm glad I'm from the hood. I'm glad I was born and raised in the hood. You know why? Because I know a con man when I see one. And these damn people are allowing for this man to con the hell out of them. They are worse than damn thugs. And I'm glad that it ain't me. But they are getting conned like a motherfucker. And it's you can't, I'm mad because it's people who actually didn't vote for him and voted for the black woman that has to suffer. They have to suffer.
Yep.
That's the whole fucked up part about the fucking around and finding out.
Joy?
I love you, political sis. You say all the things that I can't say. I love it. I love it.
No, you can say it. You just don't want to say it.
Well, I can say it, but I'm in my mama's house. I'll hear about it. But here's the thing. No, you're right. No, look, here's the thing. Doge has cost the people more than it saved. If you are working for them, you'll be quickly removing it from your resume. Elon Musk is slowly being ushered out of the federal government because people within the White House itself are appalled at what he's doing. They're humiliating him. These are not people who are credible workers vis-a-vis all the typos and the mistakes and the having to do revisions, et cetera, going into agencies and not even really understanding what those agencies are doing, being met with conflicts from even the heads of the agencies, right, who are Donald Trump appointees, who are like, no, you don't know what you're doing here. This has been a colossal failure. All it served to do is to threaten agencies that have had concerns with Elon Musk. That's going to continue to happen. That is what is happening in this administration. They are weaponizing government, your taxpayer dollars, and using it as an arm to pursue their political ends, not yours. And in billionaires' political and legal ends, not yours. That's what's happening here. We all know it. Frankly, we are getting taken advantage of as well. That's right. But it's these white folks. They don't even understand so many of our government programs they are reliant on. And I think it's been a mistake for us to always talk about people of color and how we are benefited. Perhaps numerically, disproportionately, we are benefited. But numerically, they are the ones getting the vast majority of these benefits because they're the vast majority of people in the country. So it's them, it's their neighbors, it's their relatives who are going to suffer. In rural America, in urban America, is their mother who's going to have her delayed Social Security check, who's going to be standing in lines when their regional office closes. It's not just us. We got to stop creating that narrative.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be them. And you know, listen, I just need people to realize what's going on, Zach. And the bottom line is this here. These thugs, these crooks, it's all about the rich. They do not care about regular, ordinary people, and they damn sure don't care about black people.
Across the board, every single group in this country has suffered during the first 3 months of the Trump administration, and we're not at the end of the first 3 months. We saw $10 trillion wiped out of the American economy, and our 401ks diminished, in some cases depleted, based on what Trump did starting on April the 3rd with these tariffs. And it's only gotten worse. It's only gotten worse. I think 500 million they're saying has been brought in for 10 trillion that has gone out of the door. And so when you're looking at Doge and all of their unethical actions, probably very likely illegal actions, people have lost jobs. People are losing. And that's what we know of. This is what we know has been lost. American process and procedures that we've never questioned have been slowed down, in some cases halted. All for the purpose of, they said saving money, but really for having their hands in the government to make it ineffective and inefficient to then be able to cause a massive distraction when we look at what Elon is doing instead of the person who's caused it all, Donald Trump. I want to share with your viewers and emphasize to everyone out there, we cannot take our eyes off of the man who has enabled this and who has the power to make it all happen. All of this is the fault of Donald Trump, our president, and the Republican Party. We can't forget that in 2026. We can't forget that in 2028. And we have to continuously repeat that over and over so that the American people understand that Elon Musk has no power. Doge has no power. All the power they exercise was given to them by Donald Trump and Republicans in Congress.
Oh, absolutely. Joining us right now is Representative Justin Pearson. Glad to have you back on the show. Just take us through what the hell is going on down there in Memphis with Elon Musk and these gas turbines polluting the community.
Listen, we have Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, misusing and abusing his authority, his power, and his resources to pollute our air. Memphis and Shelby County has some of the worst air quality in the country. We are an asthma capital in the United States of America, a cancer risk of 4.1 times the national average, and over 17 toxic release inventory facilities already. And now he's trying to build the world's largest supercomputer in Southwest Memphis. It's already operating, and they are now applying for a permit. And there's a public hearing on April 25th, but they're applying for a permit to pollute our air indefinitely and in perpetuity. But they only applied for 15. And now we know from work done by the Southern Environmental Law Center that they have 35 gas turbines. The health department, Shelby County Health Department, hasn't been there one time to visit, hasn't seen it, has not notified the public of what's going on there. And they came into our community on the coattails of the Chamber of Commerce, on the coattails of Mayor Paul Young, Mayor Lee Harris, the Shelby County Health Director, and so many other elected officials who were so excited that Elon Musk was coming to the city that they never thought about the ramifications for the people who live there. This plant is actually being built in my community, in my neighborhood, in 38109, where I went to high school, where my grandmothers, God rest their souls, died from cancer, and where my fiance and I have just bought our first home. And so it's really personal, this fight, but he's using his money to manipulate people, particularly African-American leadership, into hurting and harming our community.
How is it there have been no inspections? I take it you've been in conversation with the mayor's office or the city government. What are they saying?
Right. So the Shelby County Health Director, Michelle Taylor, who works for Lee Harris, has said they are not allowed to require a permit from them until after a year because of an exception within the Clean Air Act. The only problem, Roland, that Mayor Lee Harris and Shelby County Health Director Dr. Michelle Taylor know, because the Southern Environmental Law Center on several occasions, along with Memphis Community Against Pollution, Young, Gifted, and Green, Protect Our Aquifer, Sierra Club of Tennessee, have told them is that the types of turbines these folks are using do not fit within that exception. They have the power to do something. They made a mistake in not regulating them on day one. And now they're just deciding to continue to go along with what's going on, even though they know better. And that's what's really challenging, because our lives, our lungs, our air quality is being sacrificed for the benefit of this polluter who, with 35 turbines, could be the largest polluter of nitrogen oxide, even more than the Memphis International Airport. And so we're seeing that being concerning, as well as another environmental concern is formaldehyde. With 35 turbines, they could actually be putting into the air 16.7 tons of formaldehyde, a cancer-causing carcinogen. This is happening again in Southwest Memphis to a black community, a majority black community, once more, because they think, as Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali has talked about a lot, that we're a sacrifice zone, that our lives, our lungs don't matter because the profits of this richest man in the world are more important than the people. And we're being told, well, the $30 million, roughly $15 million to the county in taxes is worth our lives.
So whose job is to check? And do they care, or is it all about the money?
Right. I think it's a lackadaisical, callous attitude toward people who have been suffering for a long time. You don't get to the point where a company can come into our city without anyone, without many of us who are elected even knowing about it, because the mayors, the public utility signed non-disclosure agreements preventing them from actually talking about this project. We just learned this past week from some reporting that not only did they sign non-disclosure agreements, not only did Elon Musk and his company just pop up on the scene and tell us they were in our community and start polluting our community without permission, without permits, but they wanted to tout, well, we're not getting any public dollars. We're not getting any payments in lieu of taxes and things like that. But new reporting has shown they were actually given help by our assessor to not pay taxes. So it's $12 billion worth of equipment. The assessor taught them how to scheme the system so that they would only pay taxes on $2 billion of that. And even of that, it's a fraction of what they're actually supposed to be paying. Money is the guiding principle, but it's not money that is going to be to the benefit of the people in Memphis and Shelby County, because the consequence of not having air, which is a human clean air, which is a human right, is immoral, unjust, and so wrong. And so, yeah, it's the money, but it's not about money for us. It's about money for him and people's political talking point that, they helped to make this happen. But they did not and have not considered the people. And that's my problem. And Shelby County Health Director Michelle Taylor is responsible for that. Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris is responsible for that, as well as other elected officials. But right now, we need to deny this permit. Right now, we need the health director to go to XAI, to this plant, to see what they are doing, to see what pollutants are being put into the air, and to do something. They have the responsibility now. I can't stop him from coming. That was Mayor Young's job. That was the Chamber of Commerce's job. But we literally have been sacrificed on the altar of this capitalistic exploitative system just to have a data center take our water, pollute our air, and hurt our communities just for the pride of some people without thinking about us at all.
And this is the thing I'm always trying to explain to people, because, listen, I cover city government. I cover county government. And it's always jobs, economic. But you kind of got to give a damn about the health and the air and the water and the quality of life of the people there, because that job doesn't mean jack if it shortens your life. Donald Trump and his thugs, they have canceled the lawsuit in Louisiana that's against the petrochemical companies. That's in Cancer Alley, killing black people. They just declared it was an illegal DEI settlement in Lowndes County, Alabama, where raw sewage was backing up into the homes in the front and the backyards of black people who live there. It's been going on for decades, and they're shutting that down. So this is a matter of life and death for people of color, but especially for black people.
Especially for black people and also for poor communities. So I was with Catherine Coleman Flowers and Vice President Gore the day before yesterday, and she was talking about the fact that the Department of Justice is no longer going to ensure that people have the protections from having sanitation and sewage issues that they currently have in Lowndes County, but also all across the Black Belt and all across the country. If we do not have the protections of our air, if we do not have protection of our water, if we do not have the protection of our soil, our human rights as well as our civil rights are what is being destroyed. And that's what we're seeing happen, particularly when city governments, county governments, health departments are having a lackadaisical attitude toward the people they are supposed to serve. Look, I don't expect Donald Trump to like me, Elon Musk to like me. I don't like them either. I don't even expect them to follow the Constitution or the democratic constitutional republic experiment, right? Like, they don't care about it. They care more about being and operating as authoritarians in a dictatorial way, supporting this technocracy. They got their own agenda. But the people who we elect most directly, the people who live in the communities and the counties where we serve, have a responsibility to do all that they can to protect us using the laws and regulations that are in place. I can't stop Donald and Elon from doing what they're going to do, but we have a responsibility of making sure our mayors, our city councilors, our county commissioners aren't being bought out, aren't being sold out to these corporations and to these billionaires and these millionaires who are puppeting them around and giving them their talking points instead of those folks being true to what they said they were going to do when they ran for office, which was listen to the people, talk to the people, fight for the people, and work for the people. And that's not what's happening. These data centers are just finding communities that they can easily exploit. And they're treating us like we're some extractive colony of this country, some extractive colony of our communities. And that definitely happens in Cancer Alley, St. James. And I know a lot of good organizers there. We're connected. They're fighting for their lives. And that's what people have to realize. That's why I am naming names. That's why I'm saying all these things, because we have to realize there is a fierce urgency to protect the lives of people in black communities, in poor communities, in rural communities all across this country that are suffering because folks are wanting to take selfies and pictures with these billionaires and not listening to and looking at the consequences of asthma and children who are missing school, COPD, cancer, and the fact that it literally is taking years off of people's lives.
Questions. Joy, you first.
Well, first of all, my condolences to you on the loss of your brother. And congratulations to you for the way that you stood up for your family and the constituents you serve. You are an example of why we need folks working and running at the local level. So thank God for you. So a couple of things. One, can you just talk about like the fact that you're not saying you don't want jobs? You just want safety. You don't want people to die in the process of getting them. Can you just speak to a little bit to that? Because there's someone out there who's listening who thinks Democrats or progressives or environmentalists even are trying to stand in the way of American jobs. We're not trying to do that. What we're trying to say is you can have jobs, you can have safety as well. Can you just talk a little bit to that?
Absolutely. The idea that there is some dichotomy between having economic justice and having environmental justice is wrong. The fact of the matter is the jobs that companies like XAI and Elon Musk are bringing into communities aren't jobs for people in the community. We may be the security, we may be in the patrol car, but the engineers and folks that they are hiring are typically people who are outside of the state, who may be imported in or be working remotely. These aren't jobs, as you might imagine, in an era gone by where 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people are being employed. It's 600,000 people in our city, and they say at most this company is going to have 200 employees. So it isn't increasing the wages of folks. It's not addressing any economic inequality and injustices that we're seeing, but we are seeing an increase in the amount of nitrogen oxide. We are seeing an increase in the amount of pollution. We are seeing environmental racism and environmental injustice plaguing us once more. And it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, so that is also for our mayors and other people. When you're assessing these deals, the question is how many jobs are going to be in your community, brick and mortar jobs that you all are going to get, even if they're virtual jobs, but they're in your community, feeding back into your tax base and not taking away with all the money you're going to have to spend cleaning up the mess that they've made. So you're so right. And if you are a mayor out there, these are the things. If you need more sophisticated folks to help you make an assessment of whether this is a good deal for you in the long term, then you need to ask for it. Not all that glitters is gold. And if Elon Musk is coming to your community, let's be clear. He does not care about America or Americans.
I got it. Political sis. I got to get this question. Political sis.
Hi, Justin. Nice to meet you. Thank you for giving us a great example of what environmental racism is. This is why it's so important for people. We try to get people to vote, especially our folks. When it comes to these companies, they pollute and they go all into Black communities. It's so many studies out there that shows that we are impacted the most by this. Can you kind of give me a percentage, and that's all I want to know, of the Black folk that's within your community or this community that's being affected?
Yeah, it's about 97%.
So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you so much. Again, to your point, it's a textbook case of environmental racism, but environmental racism doesn't get to the place that it is without a perpetuation of harms that have been okayed over decades. It's no surprise that the same places that are redlined are the same places that have the industrial parks and the industrial plants. It's no coincidence that these are the same places that are educationally deprived, politically deprived, environmentally degraded. We have to have elected leaders and appointed leaders who listen to the voices of the constituents who are crying out and don't continue to perpetuate the harm just because that's the way that things have always been.
Zachary?
I think it's fair. I think it's also fair to say that we are not going to get anything done. It's going to get worse before it get better because of this administration who's trying to do away with the EPA.
Yep, well, that's definitely the case. Zachary?
I know people are going to hopefully go a little bit deeper and do a little bit more research around environmental racism. And so just for those watching, you got Cancer Alley, you had the Flint water crisis, you had the toxic PCB landfills in North Carolina, and then you also have what's happened with the Navajo Indian reservations out with the uranium mines. I want to ask, this is a question I have for you, just shifting a little bit, sir. And again, the whole entire village is with you and is mourns with you with the loss of your brother. May he rest in paradise and power. This is my question for you. You, many times when you are working at the state level of government, you look up to your national leaders for advice and for guidance and for role models. But I believe that you, sir, are a role model to our national leaders who are serving the entire nation in regards to how you can be a part of the minority party, the opposition party, and still be highly effective. What advice would you give to our national leaders, to Democrats who have been elected to represent us in Congress, of how they could get power, gain authority, and do the work of true opposition to the Trump administration and congressional Republicans?
Absolutely. So, thank you so much for you all's kind comments about my brother. We miss him every single day. And look, a place that you can get more information is the nonprofit that I helped to found, and that's helping to lead this fight, Memphis Community Against Pollution, memphiscap.org. That's memphiscap.org. Submit your public comments as well while that's available against Elon Musk and as well against the Tennessee Valley Authority, which is seeking to build 6 gas combustion turbines in our community as well. Look, to be an effective opposition party, we have to recognize where we do have power. We have people power. You can see it through town halls. We had a town hall expecting 100 people. We got over 350 people this past Saturday, just strictly about environmental injustice and about what's happening with Elon Musk, XAI, and TVA. There's a lot of energy in this moment in time. And the democracy itself, right? It's the consent of the governed. We have to get the people who are interested and engaged in fighting back in the fight alongside us, which is why we're having some protests this upcoming week. It's why we're going to be attending the public hearing and have hundreds of people organized to do that. Because while I am a state legislator, right, I'm up here in Nashville, was just fighting for some bills, against some bills, but I also realize I'm a Memphian. I'm a person who lives in Shelby County, and I have a responsibility to use any influence, any power that I have there as well to elevate the causes and the concerns of the people who are being oppressed the most. And for people who are in Congress, the fight isn't just to fight Donald Trump just by talking about it. Is to find the ways that his policies are directly impacting our communities and do what we can at the city council, at the county commission, at the state level, if you're in a more favorable state for Democrats, to resist. And I think that is where our politics has to become much more inclusive. And I mean that not just in building the movement for justice rooted in love with black folk, white folk, Latino folk, Asian folk, documented, non-documented, queer, straight, and all that. And not just that, but politically, our state leaders need to be connected with our mayors, need to be connected with our city councilors, need to be connected with our county commissioners in a much more intentional way, because we have to find the places where our power can be strongest and build from there.
Harrison, we appreciate it, man. Keep up the good fight. Thanks a lot.
Hey, we're in this thing for the long haul, and we in it together. Love and appreciate y'all.
Indeed, appreciate it. Thanks you so very much.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.
The Baker and the Handyman's Sweet Connection. In a quaint village nestled in a picturesque valley, there stood a small house in the shape of a mushroom. This whimsical home belonged to a young boy named Jamie, barely out of high school, who had a passion for baking. Inside, his cozy kitchen was always filled with the sweet aroma of cakes, cookies, and all sorts of delightful treats. What made his creation special was that each of his cakes was shaped like tiny mushrooms, a nod to his quirky home. Jamie's baking became the talk of the town. From birthdays to celebrations, everyone in the village adored his sweets.
Get your digital copy today at lulubooks.com and experience the adventure in EPUB or PDF format. Make sure you have a compatible reader to dive into this unforgettable journey. Don't miss out, unlock the secrets, and let the story begin.
Sable's Song, A Siren's Journey to Joy. Once upon a time, in a small, worn-out town in Middle America, there lived a little child named Sable. Worn into poverty, Sable's body was frail, so thin that you could see her bones, but her heart was filled with an exuberance that not even hunger could dull. Sable was awkward, with dark, deep-set eyes that sparkled with innocence and wonder. Despite being born a boy, Sable always knew she was different. Inside her lived a girl, bright and effervescent, waiting to bloom.
Get your digital copy today at lulubooks.com and experience the adventure in EPUB or PDF format. Make sure you have a compatible reader to dive into this unforgettable journey. Don't miss out, unlock the secrets, and let the story begin.
The Park of Secrets.
In the year 2060, near the heart of Florida, just a stone's throw from Disney World, stood a theme park unlike any other, a place known as the House of Secrets. It was a magical park, much like a state fair, filled with towering rides, carnival games, and parades that drew people from all over the world. But among the grand Ferris wheel and the colorful day parade, there was one attraction that outshined them all, the Parade Princess, a mesmerizing mermaid named Kenya. Kenya was a sight to behold. At 22 years old, fresh out of college, she had the kind of beauty that drew people to her like moths to a flame. Her brown skin glowed under the park lights. Her hair a stunning mix of purple and pink that cascaded over her shoulders. Little pink hearts adorned her cheeks, and a ribbon of color stretched across her nose. But it wasn't just her beauty that made her special. Her eyes, big and almond-shaped, seemed to capture the hearts of everyone who saw.
Discover the magic of the Park of Secrets. Step into a world of wonder with the Park of Secrets, a heartwarming tale by Ariel Williams that will captivate your imagination. This enchanting story is now available exclusively on Lulu Books.
The Future, Daughters of Liberty, A New Dawn. In 2040, the United States was a fractured nation, still reeling from the fallout of Project 2025, the catastrophic policy that had allowed a resurgence of systemic oppression. The Deep South had seceded once more, forming the antebellum republic, where human trafficking, racial inequality, and gender oppression became tragically normalized. The Second Civil War erupted as the rest of the nation sought to free those trapped in this dystopian regime. After years of bloodshed, Kamala Harris had finally led the Union to victory, restoring a fragile sense of hope. But the battle scars ran deep, especially in places like Louisiana, where the remnants of a broken society still lingered.
Get your digital copy today at lulubooks.com and experience the adventure in EPUB or PDF format. Make sure you have a compatible reader to dive into this unforgettable journey. Don't miss out, unlock the secrets, and let the story begin.
A Dying Planet, The Last Harvest.
In the year 2060, Earth is a shadow of its former self, choked by pollution, endless concrete, and abandoned by nature. Only a small fishing village by the sea has managed to preserve the planet's last untouched forest. In this dying world, June and Win, two young girls and the last children in their village, cling to the remnants of hope and innocence. Win roams the forest, collecting the season's last harvest, while June sings songs that echo with a haunting beauty through the village.
Get your digital copy today at lulubooks.com and experience the adventure in EPUB or PDF format. Make sure you have a compatible reader to dive into this unforgettable journey. Don't miss out, unlock the secrets, and let the story begin.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? 'Cause I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.